Hello astrology friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Shannon from Home Alchemy Astrology, and let's just jump right into June. I think we're going to love it. It's going to be fast, flirty, fun, and a breath of fresh air. It's going to be very mercurial as we head into the summer solstice, especially after all of our beautiful Venusian Taurus energy that we had back in May, probably with a little bit of earth shaking with Uranus in there with the conjunctions. I think, as the dust settles, I think we're going to really love this new movement with Jupiter in Gemini, and we're going to have a stellium in June in Gemini. And one of the first things, and this is like first in our lifetime news, is Jupiter newly entered into Gemini will be trining Pluto in Aquarius, started actually on May 26th. The trine started there, but it will perfect May 31st through June 3rd at 1 degree. I think the effect will be pretty strong actually until the two planets start to separate and move past 5 degrees. So I think we can really feel this right up until about June 25th. And then as Jupiter moves along, Pluto has already begun retrograding backwards into Cap to finish his stay there before permanently moving into Aquarius in the fall. Also, Mercury will be in his home sign of Gemini as well, direct and in conjunction with Jupiter, trining Pluto. We do have Chiron, Mars conjunct on June 3rd as well, squaring Neptune and far from there Saturn, but they're nonetheless highlighting frustrations, I think, about wherever our Aries Chiron wound exists and possibly getting angry about it. Mars rules Aries, about the blockages of Saturn, of how we're going about trying to fix or heal that wound, or maybe, angry with the progress that we're trying to make, or even angry about the wound itself. And we could also feel a little bit of confusion there with Neptune in Pisces, especially getting up to that anaretic degree, of what steps to take to make the changes in healing where we need to take those steps where we feel wounded. On June 6th, we're going to have a new moon in Gemini at 16 degrees, affecting the mutable signs of Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius, anywhere within 12 to 20 degrees. It will sextile the North Node in Aries, and it will trine the Libra South Node. This new moon will align with Venus and the Sun, but it will square Saturn in Pisces. I don't really see this as too problematic. It can really just be motivation to move past blocks or work through issues surrounding love and communication, starting new projects in that Gemini realm. It could mean having trouble, grounding ourselves, Saturn, mentally, and maintaining focus, especially with all this movement into Mercurial Gemini. There's going to be that desire for love and harmony in relationships will be more pronounced. Working with people, opportunities to work with others, money opportunities, new commitments, etc. And then we're going to see a culmination with all of these topics about 6 months from now at the Gemini full moon, December 15th, 2024. Back to that Jupiter-Pluto trine, also with Mercury. This is going to be the first in our lifetime to ever see this exact trine of Jupiter in Gemini to Pluto in Aquarius. The last time Pluto was in Aqua was 1778 to 1798. What does this mean? Well, with Jupiter in Gemini, we're going to see, especially over the next year, a lot of momentum, growth, expansion with internet-based communications, possibly electric vehicles. Gemini rules vehicles. Electricity is ruled by Aquarius. And possibly being more affordable to the hoi polloi. It maybe won't be such a elitist thing to have an electric vehicle. Some of them can be quite expensive and hard to afford for the average person. Sorry about my dog. Early childhood education, that we could see big changes with that, revolutionary changes. I would love to see a dismantling of the structure of school as we know it. Not because of the teachers. I love the teachers. We have a lot of them in my family. It's just the way that the education system is in America. It's an old institution, and I feel that it's ripe for change. Mercury in Gemini adds double strength to these topics and with no confusion, as it will be in direct motion. It also Mercury rules intelligence, quick wit, data. Aquarius rules large masses of people, the internet, hopes, dreams, wishes, spirituality, humanitarianism, and then you throw Pluto in the mix, right? And Pluto is, below the surface, deep, rumbling transformation. So maybe we'll see revolutionary, genius ways that groups of people will interact and work together, fighting for social justice in local communities. I always think of the group Anonymous. You'll see them sometimes kind of rise up and enact some social justice to specifically heinous crimes. And they're very much the unseen. I feel Anonymous is so the epitome of Aquarian justice too, and also Pluto in Aquarius. So maybe we'll be seeing more groups like that in the next 20 years. The power will lie with the people, and I think justice will be served where there's been a major imbalance or abuse of power. So I would love to see changes to the education system, especially here in America. Gemini does rule the third house, and the third house does rule elementary education, childhood education, your neighborhoods, siblings, neighbors, marketing, business, and so on. But I think there's going to be a lot more movements, quick changes within smaller local communities, new community education groups. Actually, there was community app that just started in my community. More growth with the homeschooling groups. We're definitely going to see that. Jupiter, education, children, Aquarius, the people. We're going to see a lot of changes with this stuff. And also, I think with Jupiter and Gemini in the opposite sign of Sagittarius, Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces, I think we're going to see a lot of growth away from traditional religion, and especially touching transformational Pluto and Aquarius, who rules astrology and spirituality. We're going to see more growth in the astro world, and fast growth that I believe is here to stay. That's my last bit on Pluto trine Jupiter. Remember, this is kicking off a new 12-year cycle. When Jupiter comes back, loops back around the zodiac signs again and lands back in Gemini, we're going to see that trine again to Pluto and Aquarius. And maybe it will show a whole new world around these topics. We do have a massive stellium in Gemini in June, sextiling the North Node in Aries, trining the South Node in Libra. June's going to be a great time for social events, relationships, new relationships, graduation parties, proms, date nights, gatherings, planning new communication projects, opportunities for money around these topics, setting new educational goals, book writing, blog writing. June is going to be very mercurial and very flirtatious. Gemini can be a flirty sign. And with Mercury there, full strength, Mercury is also very youthful. So until June 17th, we're going to have Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus until June 17th, all in Gemini. Okay, moving on. June 11th, we're going to see a little bit of crunchiness from Mars and Taurus, where Pluto and Aquarius. Flavoring the month, coming exact at 1 degree on June 11th, and then it will start to separate and get a little bit better as Mars moves on. Squares create tension and the need for action. Mars and Pluto are two malefics, so you can feel this energy a few weeks before and after the exact square. Pluto is now retrograde in Aquarius, so the effects of this might be a little bit unseen, maybe a little bit more internal. Mars and Taurus is ruled by Venus, so I don't know. I don't see too much trouble with this, especially because Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter will be touching Pluto. It could also exacerbate problems. It could look like, Taurus rules banking, land, cattle, food, money, luxury goods, fine wine, fine food. Pluto and Aquarius, large masses of people, hidden agendas, anything powerful and below the surface, deep excavation, dare I say, earthquake, rumblings, but hopefully nothing that extreme. Behind the scenes, maybe powerful people doing landmass grabs, powerful people or powerful few taking land from the people. So cattle industry issues, mass food production issues. I see it too far away to detract from the Mercury-Venus conjunction, which is coming up on June 17th and 18th. And once again, don't forget Jupiter is here and it is a protective planet. June 12th, we're going to see Mercury in Gemini in a square, causing a little bit of pessimism or possibly a block in communication. Feeling frustrated if you're working on a project or with people, getting your ideas across, getting heard. You might have a little bit of loneliness in relationship here. It might just be best to carve a little bit of time out for yourself on this day. Relax, just have some quiet time with your thoughts. This too shall pass, and quickly, especially with Mercury. He speeds around pretty quick. June 17th and 18th, Mercury and Venus in Gemini will be making a conjunction on the 17th, and then again exact on the 18th at 1 degree of Cancer. What does this mean? These could be good days for anything communication related, buying new vehicles, new contracts, good things, good money news should come from these contracts. Venus rules money. Anything related to education, educational goals for your children for the next year, car loans, purchasing new cars, launching a dating app, launching a small business, marketing, all of these things. If you're planning some events around those topics, the 17th and the 18th will be very good days for that. June 20th and 21st, the sun will enter Cancer on June 20th, and we will have a full moon in Capricorn at 1 degree, opposing the sun in Cancer at 1 degree on June 21st. This may look like a culmination around Capricorn Earth sign-based themes of government, politics, powerful institutions, 10th house career-related issues, tangible things like money, land, food in the world. Especially Ceres is there, the nurturing mother asteroid in Capricorn, but she's retrograde. And I feel that when planets and asteroids are retrograde, you feel the effects of them more. They seem and appear closer to Earth. There was a new moon 6 months prior to this full moon, and we might be wrapping up these tangible goals that you have set in your own life to do with career, home, Cancer, and family-related matters, or maybe trying to strike a balance between the two because they will be in an opposition to each other. So there could be a little bit of stress there, especially it's like the two are on the seesaw at the playground. Over the month, we will see a square from Saturn and Pisces. Wait a minute, sorry, I already talked about that. I think by the end of the month, we will be welcoming the soothing, watery Cancer energies. Maybe we need to ride off into the sunset and, call into work, take a beach day and go for a swim and just cool off and absorb all the things that have unfolded from all of the conjunctions in May and then again in June. Let's jump into all 12 signs and see what these dates hold for you. And please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and help my channel grow. And I didn't mean to rhyme just there. All right. See you in July. Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. With Jupiter moving into Gemini, he'll be making a sextile over the next year to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. And in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, internet, big gains, friendships, collective energy, large groups of people, astrology, etc., to the first house of you this whole next year. You will also have you still have the North Node in Aries trining your ascendant Sun or Moon, and South Node in sextile to you until January 2025. With the energy of the 1st to the 11th, putting yourself out there in a big way could bring gains, friendships. It could be a great time to go after your hopes, dreams, goals. The 11th house rules the collective, so you could find popularity there as well, especially being a Leo rising, maybe through media venues. Gemini rules communication. Mercury is Gemini's ruling planet. Leo rules the stage, so there's that too. Maybe you're doing online acting, something visual because your first house is being affected, so being seen might be part of it all. On June 3rd, you'll be having the Pluto in Aquarius trine Jupiter in Gemini, with Mercury in your 7th house of other business partnerships, personal relationships, your marriage partner, to Gemini, to your Gemini house in the 11th. This could bring the potential of meeting a powerful Pluto-like, Aquarius-like partner over the next 12 years. Aquarius is on the descendant axis if you're in Leo rising. But this person would bring big transformation to your life. Pluto rules nothing less than that. How you would meet them most likely would be an online venture, through large social groups, the internet, social media, could be dating apps. Gemini rules that. Astrology. You could be traveling somewhere within your own country or state. Somewhere you can drive. Local is Gemini rules vehicles, local community. And the Gemini placements in the 11th will be trining your 3rd house of Libra, which rules partnerships, love, beauty, local community. There could even be a past life love, especially with the South Node in Libra, and the South Node does represent our past lives. Libra rules partnerships and love and money. What else could this bring? Your partner could be going through profound transformation and changes, especially with Pluto starting to transit their ascendant. They could be starting something now that will bring tremendous gains in the future. The 11th house is also a future house and a luck and lottery house. They could be starting a business that could bring future gains, and you will also be affected by that. You could be forming important business partnerships now that could bring big gains down the road, or even at the end of the year, as Jupiter transits out of your 7th and into the 8th house of other people's money, large gains, and shared money as well. On June 6th, the new moon in Gemini in your 11th will be at 16 degrees, conjuncting the Sun and Venus. You could be starting something new related to your biggest hopes, goals, friendships, humanitarian pursuits, networking, etc. With Venus and the Sun, you could get like a sudden idea to make money. Venus rules money, music, and the arts. The Sun rules you. You could be the leader or the person initiating these projects, as these placements all sextile you. There is a bit of like crunchiness here, a little bit of tension with Saturn and Pisces from your 8th house of deep transformation, behind the scenes activities, crime, sex, death, rebirth, taxes, other people's money, squaring up to that 11th house of hope, wishes, dreams, goals, the big collective, big gains, lottery wins, internet, etc. What this could look like is a little bit of tension or difficulty, or possibly some frustration at trying to accomplish these goals and maybe feeling a little bit blocked. For example, you might get into an emotional entanglement that interferes with the higher ideals of the 11th house. The 8th house is more of a hidden, deep, sometimes a house of scandals. So there's that to watch out for. With the higher ideals of the 11th house of principle and large groups. So yeah, let's hope that it's not, anything scandalous there with deep intimacy or sex. The 8th house does rule these things. And the 11th house rules internet. So just saying, you get the idea, I hope. Otherwise, looks all right and positively aspecting you. So really, it just could be some tension with finding funds of other people's money. That's in the 8th. The 8th house rules other people's money. Maybe trying to secure a loan, again, other people's money, to try to fund maybe a group project that you're starting or a business that you're beginning, or, there could be humanitarian issues and things like that come up. On June 11th, we do have the Pluto in Aquarius square to Mars in Taurus at 1 degree. We always have to mention a square between malefics to protect people the best we can and offer safe ways to navigate through this aspect. This can manifest from your 7th house of partnerships and public, marriage partner, to the 10th of career, father figures, government, large institutions, what you do and what you are recognized for in the world. A couple days before and a couple days after the 11th, the 12th as well, there's some crunchiness there. I'd honestly avoid the public around these days. These are two public houses that you're dealing with in particular. And this aspect has honestly probably been felt since May and will continue on until Mars starts to like zoom through Taurus. And here there could be some aggression, anger, acting out from partners, to father issues with, father figures, powerful people in the workplace. So Pluto is retrograde, and neither Pluto or Mars are in full strength right now. So I'm really hoping and not seeing this as being too malefic. Pluto is retrograde, and I already mentioned that, sorry. The depositor of Mars in Taurus is Venus. So it may not be very visible. Venus is not an aggressive planet, and especially in Taurus, it's a very slow boil, or rather a slow earthquake or volcano. It may not be very visible, though, so you're more going to hear just rumblings. There might be some underhandedness, going on in that 10th house or from partnerships in the 7th, building up like anger coming out from a boss or a partner in business or in love. I love times like this for just, knowing what's coming up and just, keeping your eye out around these dates and just being alone, laying low whenever, and if possible, use the Mars and Taurus for like earthy things, like cooking, hiking, hopefully not anywhere hiking where there's a fault line. I shouldn't laugh about that. I'm sorry. Stay home, garden. Gardening is a Taurian thing, but you can also burn off energy that way using Mars. So just use that Mars energy in a positive way. On the 17th and 18th of June, we're going to have a Sun, Mercury, and Venus conjunction in Gemini in the 11th house, and this could look like good news about earnings you have worked towards and now are getting gains, possibly big gains. This is a luck house and of big wins and lottery. You could have ideas now. Sudden ideas would be Mercury and Venus and the Sun lighting everything up, of how to make big gains. The Sun rules you, and it lights up this area for you. You could be leading a group in a money-making venture or an internet venture, maybe public speaking online. Venus is love, and in Gemini, could be the initiation of more than one new love story, or more than one person is interested in you and possibly reaches out to you, via the media, local environment, the internet. Could be a great day to set intentions and get clear about hopes and dreams and goals. Also beautifying yourself, especially with Neptune and Pisces, and it's in an anaretic karmic degree in conjunction with Pluto. So there could be a strong desire to bring your dreams to life. Kind of a now or never feeling to it might be there. There could be opportunities for great prosperity or love, coming together or meeting someone via these avenues. Venus also rules music and the arts, and you rule the stage. And maybe you're the performer and your eyes connect with someone across the stage at a small venue. Gemini is a local community or big via the internet. You could be a YouTube artist who takes off via these venues and finds love and money this way too. On June 20th, the Sun enters Cancer, kicking off the summer solstice in your 12th house, requiring you to maybe rest up before the Sun starts to enter your sign in late July. On June 21st and 22nd, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. I say the 22nd just for different parts of the world. A full moon in Capricorn in the 6th house of health and what we do for everyday work. Daily tasks we do to support our lives, our pets. Service is represented here. It's a Virgo house and also ruled by Mercury. This opposes Cancer in your 12th house. The 12th house represents faraway lands, rest, the dream and fantasy realm, self-undoing behaviors, hospitals, deep spirituality, prisons. So that full moon in Capricorn in the 6th is opposing this 12th house at 1 degree. You could be letting go of a bad self-undoing behavior or health habit like drinking too much, smoking, eating something that you shouldn't. A culmination could be happening here and needing to take a rest to recuperate and kind of integrate all these changes you've been making. This might be the completion of a goal that you had set 6 months earlier when there was a new moon in Capricorn. You could just be balancing out the needs of your everyday workaday life in that 6th house of health and work with more spiritual pursuits and just needing to rest from it all. Or maybe you just came back from a very far away trip that would be represented by the 12th house, foreign lands, and you're coming back home and you have to start dealing with work, or maybe you have to meet a deadline. That would be completion in Capricorn, completing a deadline there, and you're just really needing a rest from possibly being away and resting. On June 29th, Saturn will retrograde in Pisces in your 8th house, making you go back over taxes, money that you owe. Be mindful of your health here and heart. I'm not trying to scare you. I just throw it out there as just different, potentials and things to look out for. But Saturn is squaring your ascendant, so it's squaring your physical body. Do activities that are good for you, especially for the heart. Eat healthy, eat lots of fiber, cardio, unless your diet, requires otherwise. Cardio movement that keeps your heart healthy, decreases your bad cholesterol, fatty foods, etc. With Saturn in a malefic house, I almost feel it somewhat negates the effects of the 8th house to a certain degree. But just make sure you're following Saturn's rules, of doing everything right karmically, right? And taking good care of your body, especially with so much activity going on in that 12th house of rest. Saturn and Neptune in the 8th will be trining Mercury in Cancer in the 12th house. So from the 8th to the 12th, there will be a little trine there, as well as getting ready to head into your 9th in a year. These planets are all kind of talking to each other and are in good flow. So it could look like Saturn is giving structure and form to Neptune, who can be very nebulous in the 8th, with Mercury. And these could be ideas of how to change these things, or ideas around it, how to fix. For example, ideas could be about investments, how to increase your investments, a family inheritance represented by the 8th house, how to work better with your taxes if solutions have been eluding you. If there is any illusion or confusion about these topics, Saturn brings them into form and structure. Money from foreign lands is also in the 12th house, and the 8th house is also a money house as well. Maybe ideas you can solidify about making money using these two houses. Again, the 12th represents dreams in faraway places, foreign people, past lives, deep spirituality, charity, self-enduing behaviors, hospitals, also psychic abilities. The 8th house rules some similar things as well. Rules esoteric knowledge. I feel it can represent psychic abilities as well. Shared resources, taxes, loans, money that you didn't earn, inheritances, sex, death, rebirth, transformation, big transformation. It's a Pluto house, and mysteries. You could be coming up with ways to once and for all kick a bad self-undoing habit or addiction that is affecting your health. It could be a hidden habit, especially up in the 12th house. And it'd just be maybe you're hiding, that you still smoke or something like that, especially with Saturn in there. And in doing so and following Saturn's rules, you can start to unlock some good karma. You can also use these aspects to increase good karma by helping the needy or downtrodden in some way, even if it's, say, like making donations by clearing out your home and giving clothes to the homeless. Example, that's just a brief example, something like that. All in all, the end of the month looks much calmer than earlier, with almost no difficult aspects. As we're heading into July, the focus will be more on rest and relaxation for you, and maybe hopefully some vacation days to process all the downloads that have been sparking up and lighting up your 12th house. And at times it could be confusing because Gemini has lots of things going on and can jump from topic to topic and is highly communicative. All right, I'll see you in July.